to see you. Yo, let's go. How are we doing, fam? How y'all doing? Yo, I feel like I need to fix the chat. Whoa. That might be better. You don't have this like transparent thing now. Now you can actually see it. Oh, how you guys doing? Let's go. Leon. Skywalker Academy fam. Let's go. That's right, the chat is there. It's pretty cool. I'm hyped about it. Let's go. How you guys doing today? How y'all doing? I still got this cough, man. This cough just is not going away. No matter how much I try. I need to get some Sith alchemy in this bitch because these streams got 10 times more. I know. You know what's crazy is that I saw a couple of like my stream highlights on some random channels the other day. And it was just last week. It was just last week and the other week. So somebody's watching the stream. I don't know. So I gotta be doing something right. So that's pretty cool. But how you guys doing, fam? We got it going. It's a little crazy. I feel like there isn't too much Star Wars news that's happening outside of whatchamacallit, High Republic coming to an end, and one of the books is actually going to be released on my birthday, which is really hype. Pretty damn hype. Wait a second, chat. Yo, yeah, bring the hot takes, Logan. Like the one that you had last week. Dave Filoni is my op. Sorry, guys. I am still like... I don't know, man. This cough is just not going away. Guys. Dude. Since you guys are here. Alright. Since you guys are here. Next week is my birthday, bro. Next week is my freaking birthday. I just realized, bro. I've never had like a birthday stream. That's so crazy. So, what? When was it? Oh, never mind. Yeah, that's actually. Oh, it's okay. It's all right. No, that's crazy. Like I've never been one of those people that says like, oh yeah, you know, oh birthday stream, subathon, yeah, you know. But that's cool. Like I streamed naturally on Tuesdays. I did not know that just, I don't know, stars aligned, I guess. That's really interesting, man. That's actually pretty sick. Yeah, dude. No hate take. All right. Okay, all right. Yes, all right. Good, Logan. Yes, bring it. Yes, I wanna wait like maybe like 10, 15 minutes until we get into the nitty-gritty of everything, man. But I just want to know how you guys are doing. How's everything? I started making more types of videos on my TikTok. I got a whole bunch of different types of TikToks because of work and everything else, but I started doing like content with my face because AI is like really crazy, and you guys have seen how consistent like I get mixed up with like the AI stuff because of my voice, which is really weird, you know? Whatever. So I've been just trying to put more of my personality out there, which I stopped doing like years ago, but I've really kind of like regretted the idea of stop doing that, and it seems like the more I'm like myself, you know, it seems like the more people that actually like to engage with the content. Like last week, although I was sick, I was being my rambunctious, passionate self with a limit on the toxicity, and it seems to be like a really good mixture. You know, like for instance, never go 100% Lord Dagovere, you know, just like Tropic Thunder, you know, you never go full, you know, maybe go 90, maybe go 80, but don't go full, right? And it seems to be like working out for me, especially when I'm I just made this video about the Legos and stop buying Star Wars Legos because it's consuming you, and it worked, like it's just working. So I'm gonna keep doing that as I do my lore videos, you know, and who knows? You know, if I don't stop at the end of the year, who knows what happens? You know. But yeah, we'll see. I'm really excited. I'm also just like really excited to have the chat on here with you guys. It looks really cool. I'm pretty excited about it. Like we're like a real community, man. It's not like we weren't before or anything like that, but like the more and more like this happens, I feel like, you know, I don't know, man. It's pretty cool. Like we are all pretty legit. You know, especially Logan, man. Logan, Skywalker, you guys like have your own channels and stuff. I don't know if Leon, if you have your own channel or not, but definitely check out Logan's as well. Skywalker's is really cool, very unique. Yeah, it's just really cool, man. I'm really hyped about all of this. Really excited. Oh my god, today seems even more nasty than it was the other day. But I'm just gonna keep going because I'm not like sick. It's just this damn cough, bro. This cough will not go away. Imperial activity. I was literally thinking about you the last couple weeks. I haven't seen you. Hope you're doing well, fam. Everybody, welcome Imperial activity with the ready up. Let's go. How you doing, fam? So good to see you. Welcome to the stream. Bringing all your hot takes today. Hope you've been doing well, man. Yeah, let's go. Ready up, dude. But what are you guys excited for? I just bought a brand new Lego set. I'm about maybe a fifth of it the way done. I'm pretty excited about it. It's pretty good. I've been doing it myself. And I'll probably show you guys later in the stream of which one it is. Because I love it, dude. Damn. Really bad today. Busy building a New Hope Stormtrooper armor. Yo! That is awesome, fam. Yeah, is that like for the 501st or anything like that? Because I know how restrictive they are. Well, not necessarily restrict. They are very strict. You know, it's got to be like to the T. Perfect. It's so funny. I got the Stormtrooper behind me as well. So there was. I was actually going to join the 501st way back in like 2018, and I remember I was going to do Kylo Ren. And the one guy that was inviting me was really cool, and then all of a sudden there was like all this like crazy drama that was happening in their garrison, and I stopped. I just kind of stopped completely. I was in the midst of like trying to figure out how to make all these things and do it, but yeah, it's I don't know. There was a lot of drama over there. I don't know if that's like a consistent thing, but it just kind of made me not want to join and just to kind of do my own thing in cosplay. But there was other stuff too, like you had to, I don't know, I wanted to do some characters, and then some characters they wouldn't let me do. It was really weird, you know. But then I know that there's also branches and divisions where you can actually have like Mandalorian armor and everything, you know. It is. I belong to Starkiller Garrison, 501st rep here. That's cool. Awesome, fam. I hope you enjoyed that, man. I know I've had a lot of people that that I knew have joined it, and they've always been trying to get me to join a while back, but I haven't. I've just been more so just like doing the own thing, and I don't know. The more I have fun on my own with like a small group of people, the more that I enjoy it. When I feel like I get involved with like those large areas of people, that's when I think things get a little crazy and a little dramatic. But yeah, man. So next week is the release of one of the High Republic books, which I'm really excited about, which is really cool because it's on my birthday, and that's pretty hype. And next week is the birthday, next week's stream, so that's pretty cool. Currently working on updating book covers in Photoshop. Interesting. How do you update photo covers? You just like, is this like a whole thing? Like do you redefine them? Do you what's it called? Upscale the quality? That's pretty cool. If you upscale them, that's really cool. That's awesome. I would love to see that. And yeah, you can post that stuff in the Discord too. Imperial Activity says, what you do here is as important as what the Legion does, in my opinion. Wow. That's awesome. You're awesome, fam. Hope you've been doing good. Sorry about the podcasts. I'm just so busy with work. I've also just needed a break because all the other content that I've been doing has been also quite demanding, and I've been sick, so all that stuff has been happening all at once. So Yeah, guys, it's been crazy. All right, so I will get to Logan's hot takes. Logan has been very awesome in participating with all these hot takes, so I'm going to try to get everything that we can. So if anyone else has a hot take, I would love to see it in chat so we can go over. So Logan says, no hot take. The sequels won't be looked at the same way the prequels are now. Prequels were elevated by supporting media. Sequels lacked that at launch. I disagree. I think that the sequels will be looked at the prequels in a similar way. It won't be as potent, but they will definitely get better for the people that enjoy them. I'm not one of those people, but there's still time. There's still so much time to have the Clone Wars. There's still so much time to have like the Star Wars Rebels and things like that for the sequel trilogy. When is it going to happen? I don't know. I think what also people have to understand too is we had the Clone Wars animated series, and that was practically it. What is the sequel trilogy getting? More movies. They're getting way more movies. So even if the sequel trilogy is not good and they don't have animated series, they're still getting other movies that are being created in that era. And will those movies be good? I don't know. We're going to have to see. But at the end of the day, Ryan Gosling's movie seems pretty darn awesome. I'm more excited about that than the other movies that are coming out, just because I liked Drive, I liked all these other movies. Of course, I'm a Blade Runner fan, and it's your boy Ken, so of course, I don't know if it's going to be enough for me, but I'm really excited for the Ryan Gosling movie and Star Wars, and those are only going to help the sequel trilogy later on, because what are you going to watch to get ready for that movie? You're going to watch the sequel trilogy, especially if you're a younger fan that loves those movies. That's the way it's gonna be. Logan has another one. Logan has a couple, I think. It says, Filoni take. Good character arcs and story. Horrible at world building. Interesting. World building. I think World Between Worlds was a phenomenal piece of Star Wars lore. And it's so funny how often people say that it's about time traveling when he literally says it's not. What are the rules? He talks about it many times. It's how, whatever, I don't really understand it too, and I can understand how people say it's time travel. But if the creator is telling you that it's not, then it's not. I think the issue with like World Between Worlds is that it's time traveling, but it's not. It's this whole realm that exists, but it's disconnected from everything, and everything's happening all at once. I kind of see it as a hyperbolic time chamber, if that makes any sense. I don't know if you guys watch Dragon Ball Z, but it's like this one area that is disconnected from the entire universe. It's like a force wellspring that is all alone, and everything that is affected in that room is disconnected from everything else in the galaxy. That's kind of how I see it. Problem is he used it to save Ahsoka a couple times, so that is the problem. But world building still, like you have Bendu, George Lucas, and of course the Mortis gods, which he doesn't really get any credit for that, but he was still there and he was still helping those things be created. I don't really think that he's bad at world building. I mean, do we not like Peridia? Is Peridia one of the things that we hate in Ahsoka? I don't hate Peridia. I love the Purgle. I didn't like them at first, but I think they're really cool. He's also like one of the only people in all of Star Wars live action to talk about like other planets outside the Star Wars galaxy. Show us a whole other galaxy. I think that is pretty tremendous for world building, and I think that's dynamic enough to continue the story. If you want something like the Grisk and the Yuuzhan Vong to exist, I think that you have to defer the idea of him not being good at world building. I will say, although I like Filoni, I think that he has issues with story. And I think he also has issues with character. I think he has issues with fleshing out characters that probably should have stopped their arc. Maybe they should have died. Maybe their story should have ended. Like Ahsoka, like Sabine. I think that is at least where I am at with that take. That's how I feel, at least. Yo, may the Lord be with you. It's so good to see you, fam. Thanks for coming. If you guys don't know, May the Lord be with you. Has a pretty good channel, pretty awesome guy. Go check it out, and make sure you all welcome him with a ready up. So good to see you, fam. Thank you so much for coming over here. I also have a cough, so please don't be too annoyed of it. Logan also says, hot take, George Lucas isn't always right. So this is actually the biggest hot take that I have. My issue with like the whole George Lucas being wrong thing is like, what about George Lucas upsets you guys? You know, because again, I grew up during the prequels. I was in high school when Revenge of the Sith came out. I was a sophomore in high school, and a lot of people were already telling this guy to sell Star Wars. They did not like George Lucas during the prequel trilogy. They hated the prequel trilogy movies. I told you about Hayden Christensen and how all these people hated Hayden Christensen. They hated Jar Jar. The prequels were not liked until about 6 or 7 years later, when I started reading YouTube comments and I found people that actually liked the prequel trilogy. The prequel trilogy. But with George Lucas, I don't know. It's like one of those things where I will talk about how the dark side is a drug. You cannot consistently use the dark side without it affecting you and consuming you. And there's so many people online that will say, no, that's not true. There has to be balance. That's not what George Lucas preaches about the Force. It's all about selfishness and selflessness. That's why Nirvana and Yin and Yang cannot be something that's compared to the Force, because it doesn't work like that. So is George Lucas wrong about that? Is he wrong about the Force? What is George Lucas wrong about when he talks about these things? Is he wrong about Mace Windu defeating Palpatine? Is he wrong about Anakin being the chosen one? Like, he's the creator of the universe. What can he be wrong about? It doesn't mean that he is a great storyteller because he makes things up all the time, or is inconsistent with how the story was created, because we all know George changes his mind. I think everybody knows that George Lucas changes his mind. But what is he wrong about? What exactly is he wrong about? That's what I want to know. Custom covers made for cover series, and I'm just tweaking, made them look good. That's awesome. I really want to see that. Definitely post that in the Discord, fam. Skywalker Academy says, hot take. The purple is the most overrated lightsaber cup. What? That's crazy, dude. That might be the craziest take in the chat. I actually think purple might have the most aura out of like any color in Star Wars, because of Samuel Jackson, because of Mace Windu, because of Revan. I mean, like, come on, dude. Like, every single person that uses a purple lightsaber is a dude. Like, they are the ones. I don't know how you can hate the purple lightsaber. I don't know how you can say it's overrated. I'll probably say now, in my opinion, as someone who loved this color because of the Jedi Knight games, because I was always about this color, yellow. I think yellow now is the most overrated color in Star Wars because so many people are using it. And now with the addition of the High Republic, it's like everybody and their mother is using the yellow lightsaber, and that's really frustrating. I like orange. Orange is cool. Another Jedi Knight, a Jedi Outcast color. That color is sick. But I want to see more stuff out there. You know, let's go. Let's see more colors. Let's get creative. Let's go back to the blues and greens. Purple is pretty cool. I love white. I love, of course, the red, synthetic red, whether it's bled or synthetic. Let's get some more colors. You know, let's go. Come on, let's get Star Wars The Old Republic in here. Let's go. Repeats itself. I'm trying to go all the way down and see where else I am. Hot take says the Clone Wars Anakin is out of character when compared to Episode 2 and Episode 3 Anakin. I don't think that is a bad take, because the first time I saw the Clone Wars animated series, I also felt that way when I was watching it. Mind you, it was really hard for me to watch that show because I think the first 2 seasons of the Clone Wars is very difficult to watch. And I think anyone telling you that the Clone Wars is the best animated show ever absolutely is glazing it, because those first 2 seasons are very difficult to traverse. I mean, I'm serious, man. Like, sometimes I skip a lot of the stuff. I go back and watch it sometimes, but it really picks up in season 3 and when Darth Maul is back. But yeah, Anakin, I want to say, is different, but is it because he's fleshed out better in the animated series than he is the movies? I kind of think so at times, especially between episodes 2 and 3, because that's where you see a lot of his maturing in the Clone Wars animated series. And that's what I was talking about a couple weeks ago, is like exactly what the Council basically fails him on and doesn't give him master for is, you know, attachment and his mental state. But then when Ahsoka leaves the Jedi Order, that is the one thing that Anakin fails at in the movie, and he succeeds in the Clone Wars animated series. It's exactly what he needed to do for Padme. That is the most mature thing Anakin does in the history of that character, is allow Ahsoka to leave the Jedi Order and not kill younglings and not fall to the dark side. That is the most Jedi thing that he's done. It's the most mature thing that he's done, especially who he is as a character. And I really appreciate that arc of the Clone Wars that it gave us, because it shows you that, yes, in that moment, Anakin Skywalker is a Jedi Master. But outside of that, no. He's got a lot of problems. He's got issues. But I would say inconsistent, maybe because we don't see Anakin right after Attack of the Clones and go into the Clone Wars animated series. I actually think he's way more in character right after the Clone Wars when we see him in the Clone Wars short series, the mini-series. I think that if you add that with the Clone Wars animated series from 2008, then I think it makes a lot more sense. But that's just me and seeing all those and absorbing those and putting those into my head canon together to make it make sense. Honestly, history repeats itself from the OT, from the PT. Yeah, it'll keep happening no matter what. That's just how Star Wars is. People will always hate it because someone is telling them to hate it. We didn't have social media back then in the prequel trilogy, but I remember everyone talking about that documentary about George Lucas, destroying their childhood and everything like that. And then, of course, there was this one, I don't know who they are. They were content creators. There was this show, and they were like 3 guys, and they were always talking crap about the prequels. Yeah, I think they actually influenced a lot of people to hate it. May the Force be with you says, sequel trilogy isn't perfect, but it's fun and entertaining. Reading Shadow of the Sith makes me care way more about the sequel trilogy. I told you, bro. Anybody that hates the sequel trilogy out there, you have to read Shadow of the Sith. Shadow of the Sith is one of the greatest Star Wars books that I've ever read. I'm talking about up there with the Bane trilogy, with Plagueis. Bro, Heir to the Empire, the book is up there, man. And I know that's not saying much for a lot of the new canon stuff, especially for the people that hate it. I get it. I hear you, fam. But I'm telling you, man, sit down, read Shadow of the Sith. I guarantee you, without spoiling this stuff, you're going to enjoy it, man. Does it fix all the problems with the sequel trilogy? Hell no. But I guarantee you, bro, that book is so good. You may look at things differently for sure. God, that book is so good, man. I'm so glad that I have so many people to talk about that book with. It is so good. Logan, going back to the world building with Dave Filoni, as a monolithic worlds and cultures when they were diverse in legends, many species feel like reskinned humans. That is a very good take. I agree. I agree. But then again, it's just like, what works in the expanded universe works in the expanded universe, and do we really know as fans whether or not what works in the expanded universe can actually translate well in live action? I'm not sure. I don't know if the Yuuzhan Vong can really look good in a movie. I don't know. Why? Because it's anti-George Lucas. How can the Force connect everything and then all of a sudden not connect to the Yuuzhan Vong? And I know the spoiler, even though I haven't read the New Jedi Order in its entirety. I know the spoiler. I know what it's supposed to mean, right? But the problem is introducing that into a Star Wars universe, you make the Force obsolete at that moment until everyone hasn't read the story. And it kind of feels like the spoiler retcons what actually is supposed to happen with the Yuuzhan Vong. It's like you're making up for what's wrong with the Force, right? So how do you fix that? How do you bring the Yuuzhan Vong and improve them, right? How do you do that? And I think that's the problem, is I don't know if anyone's talented enough to do that. I don't know if Dave Filoni is talented to do it, Jon Favreau, even someone like Tony Gilroy. Like, I just don't know. And I think that's why they stay in their lane and try to do what they can, because the expanded universe is just so vast, so imaginative, and that's why it had so many writers. That's not happening in Hollywood. It's not happening. Leon says, I just lost it. Oh, it's gone. I literally can't find it. Thanks, dude. And what's up, y'all? Yeah, so good to see you, fam. Appreciate it. Wait. The Jedi Knight games were perfect. They are amazing. I love it, bro. Oh my gosh, dude. Yes. Yeah, to me, the colors represent eras in Star Wars: green, blue, red. Yeah, man, like Star Wars: The Old Republic, I feel like is such a underappreciated MMO, and I know it doesn't really have the best multiplayer, but some of the stories in that game are great. Is it a direct sequel to Knights of the Old Republic 2? No, it's not. You kind of have to feel like it's a story inside that universe, and although it is not connected, it's adjacent to it. That's kind of like my headcanon for it, right? But some of those lightsaber colors that were in there were so beautiful. I had this like very pale and fading gray color. It was really cool, and it had this like tint of cyan. It was really beautiful. Like, I would love to see colors connect with Force users like that. And I think that's one thing I really enjoy. That's one thing I really enjoy is how lightsaber colors actually emerge naturally in the new canon. Is like the Force user is able to connect and synchronize to the frequency of the Kyber crystal, and that's how that color is achieved. So if we all have a different voice, right? We all have different hair, different eyes, different bodies, and things like that. Why are we all kind of having the same color? I'm not saying, you know, we need every single color in existence, but I would like to see different tints of blue, different tints of green, different tints of orange and yellow and purple. I think that would make sense. I'm not talking about like seeing a pink lightsaber or anything like that. I'm not saying that. It would just be interesting, I guess. But I would like to see variants that would make sense. You know, I think white makes sense. I think the obsidian crystal makes sense, and red obviously makes sense. But I don't like the way that the High Republic has used the color yellow so much. You know, I think it's like making you kind of get a little seasick, you know, and you see it so often, and now it doesn't feel as special, if that makes any sense. But that's just me. Literally not an exaggeration. Shadow of the Sith is an incredible novel. Yeah, and Bridge Throw. It's amazing, man. Yes. Are we still doing hot takes? Hell yeah, Kevin. Welcome to the stream, by the way. Everybody welcome Kevin. Ready up. Sorry, fam. I'm actually catching up to chat, but this is the first time this has happened ever. What the flips? Logan says, hot take. Kyber crystals are dumb. I literally just talked about how I love it. Kyber crystals are dumb. I like when there are multiple natural crystal types on worlds across the galaxy, different colors and attributes depending on where you go. Now they are blank. That's not true. That is not true. Naturally, Kyber crystals, yes, are colorless, but you can still find colored lightsaber crystals across the galaxy. They're just extremely rare. I think that helps the idea. Like, if you're going to go to Dantooine and find crystals in the caves like Knights of the Old Republic, they are probably there. Are they gonna be all over the place? You know, are you gonna have to like, you know, kill one of the monsters and get it, and then open one of the eggs of this monster, so there could be a red Kyber crystal like you do in Knights of the Old Republic? That's kind of crazy, but you know, those crystals still exist. They're still there, especially obsidian, you know, or red. I think that is the fun part. Is, you know, we're saying they kind of suck now because yes, it's interesting how they have to get this certain color now, but they still exist, especially with the new canon. There's one of the crystals in the Brotherhood. Is it Brotherhood or is it Master and Apprentice? I think it's Master and Apprentice, where Qui-Gon Jinn and Obi-Wan Kenobi, they see that some people are using these like orange crystals, you know. So there are colored crystals out there, and they can be used to ignite lightsabers and be used as fuel, just like, you know, the pearl from the Crate Dragon. It's not the same, but it still exists. It can still be there. I just think that as a Legends enthusiast, you don't want it to change, you know, and I understand, because yes, there's a lot more advantages to Legends when it comes to those things, but I don't think it's a bad replacement. I actually really like it, you know, and it's not like it's gone forever. You know, I still think that there's possible ways to make both of these coexist correctly. Leon says, here's mine. Any Star Wars fan who's only into the original trilogy is missing out. I think, so, all right, you guys know, all right? So as a Star Wars content creator, right, I have seen the wildest fans, bro. I have seen people that are Andor elitists, and I really do not like their positivity in a way that it weaponizes their positivity to destroy other projects. It's like, you know, you have the toxic YouTubers and the toxic fans, and then a completely opposite side of the spectrum, it's those elitists that do the same thing. It's like we love this stuff so much that everything else is complete shit. What are you talking about? What? And it's the same thing. Those same people, I feel like, I think like are very similar also to, yes, the original trilogy people that are also really elitist. Like, this isn't Star Wars. Star Wars died after Return of the Jedi. And it's just like, man, I understand that you saw Star Wars in the theaters, and that's really cool. I did too. But did I see it when it first started? No, I wasn't born yet. I'm sorry. But man, like, saying stuff like that, like, this is only Star Wars, that's not true, man. There's books out there that I've read that are better than a lot of the movies. There's video games out there that I can emotionally connect with more than a lot of the movies, And when I see Return of the Jedi and Hayden Christensen appears at the end, that I think is one of the greatest reveals in cinema. And I know it came after, but at the end, because I grew up with the prequels, that movie means so much to me because of that. And yeah, I think those people that only sympathize with the original trilogy, yes, you are completely missing out, and your nostalgia blinds you. That's how I honestly feel. Straight up. Bro, I don't know how you can look at Return of the Jedi and not think it's like one of the greatest movies of all time when Hayden Christensen shows up, bro. Every time I see that, I'm just like, that's my GOAT! That's my boy! That's my boy! Does he deserve to be there? I don't know. But that's my boy, Sorry, guys. I still have this cough. I apologize. Shadow of the Sith, brilliant story. Yeah, let's go. I love to see that. Let's go. Speaking for myself, only me here. I'm more of an EU kind of guy. I'm still, for me, established lore. Yeah, that's fine, man. Like, I understand. Me too. Like, I'm a big Legends guy. I like most of the new Disney stuff. I don't like all of it, and I have some problems, But I love both of them. I do. I try to coexist between everybody. I hear things about the Legends continuity that I understand, and then I see stuff about the new canon stuff that I understand, and I don't like things about both. But I find my way around it, man. It's just more for me, if that makes any sense. May the lore be with you, says New Jedi Order would crush as an animated series. Yeah, I think Star Wars Visions is one of the best ideas for new Star Wars. Like, you could be doing so much with Visions. Like, best example, right, is probably the Ronin. The Ronin has this nice, beautiful aesthetic, as if it's being told at a campfire, with so many other people enjoying this. What era did it come in? Who is this character? Is he still alive? I don't know. This is just a vision. It's beautiful, right? You can do the same thing with New Jedi Order, with Legends. I don't know, man. There's so much. My problem is, okay, now you're getting into the multiverse stuff, and I don't want that. I do not want that. But the idea that Legends continuity is there and you're not doing anything with it, I think all of that stuff should be animated. It doesn't need to be live action. It should be animation. Why? Because there will be a clear difference between what's canon and what's not, especially if it looks different. It's all right there, man. It's so much money waiting to be cashed in on, and I hope someone does this. Ugh, man. Yeah, I feel you, Elusive. By the way, everybody welcome Elusive to the channel. Ready up. Kevin also says, here's my hot take. Such as is, the sequel trilogy is the basic equivalent of the MCU's multiversal saga. What do you mean by multiversal saga? Like, are you talking about, like, as in you yourself see it as Star Wars, but it exists somewhere else and it's not actually a part of the story that you want? Or, like, you're like the Legends continuity is the official timeline and story of Star Wars, but the sequel trilogy is just, I guess, Disney's version of what actually happens, which is why you say the MCU. So, like, the MCU actually happens, but then there's all that comic book stuff that I can't get into. I'm not intelligent enough to get into. So you're like, it's a part of it. It's all there, but this is actually happening adjacent to the galaxy that we know, adjacent to the story that we know. I think I gotcha. I think I gotcha. I mean, it makes sense in a way where like the story had been established, but my problem is, all right, here's my thing. All right, guys. Oh man, I'm gonna say some shit. All right. Oh god. All right, here you guys ready? Ugh. All right. Here we go. I love Legends 2, baby. I love Legends so much, but you know what? It's not the real story. It's not. George Lucas was gonna retcon that shit anyway. Why? Because he had his own vision for those movies. His new trilogy. Whatever it was. Darth Talon, Darth Yamama, Darth Maul, it doesn't matter. Leia's the new chosen one, I don't know. But he was going to write these stories. Were they going to retcon Heir to the Empire? Were they going to retcon New Jedi Order? Were they going to retcon the Yuuzhan Vong? I don't know, bro. You know, but I love the Legends continuity. And even me, as a diehard Legends fan, understands that if George Lucas wanted to, at any moment, he could have hit the reset button and just continued his stories right after Return of the Jedi. And I don't know if all of those stories that we love, like New Jedi Order, like Fate of the Jedi, if you like it, like X-Wing, like Heir to the Empire, would have existed if George Lucas made those movies. I don't think that's possible. I don't think that you could have George Lucas' vision of what actually happened and Legends continuity if he makes those movies. Darth Yamama. Darth Yamama. Yep, Darth Yamama, dude. I just rolled it right off the tongue, dude. Hot take, Resistance is not that bad of a show. I didn't even finish it, man. I can't even say that Resistance is a bad show. It's just, it was, like, even Dave Filoni said, we're doing this for fun. So, like, I can't even seriously critique it, you know? I did watch, I think, like, the first season all the way up to the finale. I didn't watch the finale. I watched up to the episode before. Kazuto, I think is his name. It was just too young for me. Like, it was just like, yeah, Rebels was already like not showing stormtroopers get shot and die, you know, and I was just like, okay. And then this even seemed like below that. So I just couldn't. And again, guys, I'm not one of these like, you know, gore porn people. It's just, it was clearly attached to a certain age of individuals that I couldn't allow, like, I just couldn't enjoy the story because of these things. So I don't even think it's fair for me to criticize the show, honestly. Although it is in my lowest tier that I've made. Hot take. I see hot take in Kylo Ren. Hot take, Kylo Ren should have been the main protagonist while still being the villain. I think it would have been more interesting. I mean, I do not know how you call something the Skywalker saga and the blood of the Skywalker blood running through your veins. The embodiment of the Skywalker legacy is not the main character. And this is not a trash at Rey, okay? Because I, contrary to everybody believes, I actually enjoy the character, okay? My issue is that it did not go the way I wanted it to go. And the character that I wanted to see was not the main character. And that's fine. That's cool. But I think that is where the disconnect started. And I'm going to have a podcast tomorrow with my boys at Starlight Podcast with Jedi Connor and Daddy Sheev. And we're going to talk about The Last Jedi. And I'm going to say some shit. And I've always held back. But tomorrow, I'm still going to hold back. But I'm going to allow myself to say a couple things. Just a couple things. Just a little bit. All right? Nothing toxic. Nothing toxic. Trust me, guys. I'm not that way. I'm not that person. So, but I definitely have some opinions. And if you guys want to watch that, it'll definitely be heard tomorrow on that podcast. Because those are the homies. And they do a lot for me, so I wanted to make sure that I'm all ready to go tomorrow. That's why I'm doing the hot take stuff, because I'm kind of getting myself fired up for tomorrow, baby. Let's go. And by the way, thanks, guys, everybody. You're all awesome. Please, if you haven't already, check out the shorts every single Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And check out TikTok, whatever. Join the Discord. Let's go. Let's have some fun. Yeah, Kylo Ren, yeah, sure. Why not? I liked all the characters. you know? Logan says, hot take, EU wasn't a mess. They diligently worked to maintain continuity and actively fix contradictions with creative retcons and lore. Yeah, I agree with that. I think that a lot of people kind of play the flaws so much because, you know, the war online is always Legends continuity versus new Disney canon. Disney canon is very good, it's, especially with the expanded universe. I think it's actually overrated. I think it's actually flying by without people even, like, noticing because they don't want to notice it, whether they label it as woke, whatever the hell that means, or it's just Disney crap, whatever, man. Read these books for yourself. I'm not saying everything in there is amazing. I'm not saying the High Republic is the greatest thing ever because it's not, but it is very good. And there are books like The Rising Storm, like Shadow of the Sith, like Lords of the Sith that are some pretty freaking good books, man. Go out and check it out. And you're gonna tell me that Jedi Fallen Order is a bad game? Okay. Whatever you say. All right. But I think people usually like to highlight those negatives because you're attacking what they like. All of a sudden, new canon is talking about how terrible Legends was. Legends is talking about how terrible new canon was. I get it, guys. All right, we have flaws. But yes, I agree, Logan, that the writers consistently, actively try to fix things because there was a lot of wonky stuff in Legends. Ain't gonna lie, man. You know, definitely not gonna lie. But that's the beauty of the expanded universe. And that's why it's allowed to exist, because it's books and comics, and not every single fan is reading that. That's just the way it is, you know? But that's why it works. Imperial Activity says, as an OG X-Wing, Gen X fan, I think that it's silly when someone says that the Star Wars after OT isn't Star Wars. Yeah, I agree, man. I've heard that so much, even during the prequel trilogy when I was trying to tell them about how the Dark Empire back then and Luke Skywalker was serving the Emperor and turned to the dark side, and I shit you not, my uncle looked at me dead in the eyes and said, "Nah, not my Luke." I shit you not. That was back in 2007. I'm not even joking. I remember that day. I remember it was right before my birthday. It was at 2:00 in the afternoon. We were all over my uncle's house because he had a pool. And we all were there on the couch, and I was explaining to them that Luke Skywalker allowed Leia to be shocked by Force lightning in the Emperor and threatened and almost killed Han Solo. And that's what he told me. Nah, not my Luke. That shit doesn't exist. That shit's for nerds. No one reads books. I shit you not, dude. Like, you all talk about how, like, sequel trilogy hate is really bad and everything. Guys, no. It's all the same. It is verbatim the same stuff that has happened. It's crazy. It's just being amplified because of social media. It was all there. It was always there. Crazy. Aloof says, I can't wait to see more Roden. Me too, man. You want to see something? Look at this. Look at this. Look at that. Look at this. Look at this. They're practically sold out everywhere. It's so beautiful. It's so gorgeous. I don't even know if I want to open it because I want to wait to get it signed, baby, but I can't freaking wait. Let's go. Unfortunately, I am not a Jedi. Woo! Damn man cooking. He's cooking. I love me some Ronin, bro. I love me some Ronin. Skywalker Academy says, hot take, I think bleeding crystals is better because it fits in with their ideology. Forcibly bending the crystal to your will makes them more scarier and shows how the kyber crystals are alive. Yeah, I love it too, man. I think it's awesome, but I also like synthetic crystals. I love the ideas of I just don't understand why we can't have both. Tacos, burritos, why not both? Come on, what are we doing? Bleeding is cool. I really enjoy that. I loved seeing Kylo Ren do that to the point where he literally broke his lightsaber because he was so frustrated and angry. Darth Vader going out, sorry guys, and hiding Master, oh my gosh, I can't remember, Master, Crack, I can't remember, but going out with the Jedi that had the Barash vow and absolutely wrecking him and snapping his neck and stealing his lightsaber crystal. That was an amazing issue to read, you know? And like, I just love that depth, man. Like, it's so So beautiful. I will say, absolutely hated the way it was executed in the Acolyte. Absolutely hated it. There are great ideas with poor execution, and that was one of them. You know, I'm not hating on the show. I'm just saying it should have been better. That's it. The EU is official stuff. Disney stuff is what veers off from it. The EU is official stuff. The EU is official stuff. Disney stuff is what veers off from it. I disagree. They're both official. Disney owns the company. George Lucas sold the company. He doesn't care anymore. It's done. It's over. His children now belong to Disney. That is official. That's how legal and rights work. It's official. Legends also is owned by Disney. You know, it's all official. It's all there. It doesn't matter whether it's white, blue, green, or orange. It's all under the same level. You know, it's like that's what it is. Nothing is veering off from anything. You know, if you have a problem with Star Wars not being what it was before, it's still there. Legends continuity is still there. The person that you're really upset with is George Lucas because he sold it and he didn't want to deal with it anymore. That is the problem. That's the issue. You know, it's never changing. Like, it's never changing, man. Will you ever get Legends continuity in new canon? I don't think so. Like, I just don't think so. Because it just seems like everybody is separated. There's a lot of different views on the expanded universe and whether or not the comics and the books actually mean anything. Even with the current canon, there's a lot of retcons that happen, and I'm just like, well, Star Wars is supposed to have that cohesiveness with the continuity, the expanded universe, but a lot of times when a show like Andor happens, it seems like stuff gets soft rewritten, you know? And if live action is going to upgrade the expanded universe, as it should, then that's going to happen. But at the end of the day, like, it is what it is, man. Like, we don't have the power to change that, you know? So it is what it is. You know, I understand why people are like that or upset, but nothing's going to change, you know? Good or bad are both opinions. Neither is right or wrong. No, there's definitely good or bad. Definitely. There's definitely good or bad. David Torres says, we will be talking about Andor characters for years, homie. Absolutely. Yes. Skywalker Academy says, hot take. If they made an Old Republic story, they should have to depower characters like Nihilus and Vitiate. I'm going to say it. Darth Nihilus is not that strong. I think Darth Nihilus is one of the most overrated characters of all time. He is so glazed, it's incredible. Most of these people that actually talk about Darth Nihilus online didn't even play Knights of the Old Republic 2. I guarantee you, if they actually tried to play Knights of the Old Republic 2, they would fall asleep and get angry because they don't even know how the UI works. Darth Nihilus isn't even the best character in the game. Darth Nihilus isn't even the hardest boss in this game. He dies so easily. And he dies so easily that so many people cope of his power because they think that the exile is like the super effective Excalibur to beat him, when that's not true at all. The dude didn't even train to use his powers. He just acquired them like a superhero. Like, there was an accident and then he got them. And he doesn't even eat planets, bro. Like, he does not eat planets. Like, he drains the life out of them. And he can't even do that right. Because in the first moments of the game, if you actually played it, he tries to do the same thing to Traya. And he can't do it. He can't do it. He can't kill her. And he tries to take her power away, which is the same power that he uses to absorb the planets. And he can't do it. He fails. So if the Exile and Darth Traya are ones that literally, like, have resistance to his power, how is he going to fight someone like Mace Windu? How is he going to fight someone like Yoda? How is he going to fight someone like Anakin Skywalker, bro? He's getting dog-walked. He is the most glazed character in all of Star Wars. It is insane. Vitiate is a dog. Absolutely. But even Vitiate needs help to bleed those planets and sacrifice all of those people that he absorbed. Even him. I think, honestly, Vitiate is on the level of Palpatine, but people will never admit that because they glaze Vitiate and the Old Republic so much, man. It is Absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. I'm not saying they're not. Well, Nihilus is nowhere near as powerful as people say. I don't even think Nihilus is a top 15 Sith Lord. I do not think Nihilus is even a top 15 Sith Lord, because Chris Avalon, the writer, even says that this dude isn't even stronger than Naga Sadow. And Naga Sadow is not stronger than Friedan Nat, and Friedan Nat is not stronger than Exar Kun. What are we talking about? How is Nihilus, even as a character, still existing in this debate today? Like, it is crazy. You want to know why? Because you watch YouTube videos, you never played the game, you never read any of the books, you probably even never read his comic, and you're just watching stuff and looking up stuff on Reddit. And I'm not talking about you guys in chat. I'm talking about the Nihilus Glazers. Sorry. I just wanted to make sure. Dude, I'm crazy today, dude. We got about 10 more minutes, so I'm going to try to fix up the rest of these questions if you guys have anything else. No one reads book, huh? Well, then I am no one. Majority of these people do not read the Star Wars books, man. They watch content creators. They watch YouTube. They are not reading books. You know how hard it is to read a book? You know how hard it is to read? Dude, it is very hard to read. You think people like May the Force be with you in chat and everybody else, Logan, you think people are actually going out and buying these Star Wars books that are in the comments, you know, and talking about this stuff and talking about Nihilus? Majority of them are not. They are watching videos. They're watching short form content like my channel and your channel and everybody else's channel. They can't play the games. They can't read the books. To the ones that do, to the ones that legitimately go out there and read the books and know the lore, bro, you guys are like 10% of Star Wars fans. Like, you guys are the real dogs. You guys are the real homies that deserve to critique anything Disney and Lucasfilm do, because you were there. And even if you weren't there, you're doing the due diligence now to pick up New Jedi Order, to pick up X-Wing, to pick up Darth Plagueis, to pick up the Bane trilogy, to pick up the Old Republic, pick up Tales of the Jedi comics, bro. Y'all the ones that deserve to critique the most, in my opinion, when it comes to the Legends versus Disney stuff. Everybody else, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know. It's not that I don't respect you. It's just other people did more work. That's it. David Torres says, yes, Lord Dagovere, as a single father, you are my books and my knowledge. Exactly. And by the way, there is nothing wrong with watching YouTube videos. But when you weaponize the lore, you cannot weaponize the lore to to bolster your agenda that a character like Nihilus can dog walk everybody in the prequel trilogy. That is such a lie, bro. Like, I need chat. I need you guys, please. Do you honestly think Darth Nihilus can fight characters like Mace Windu, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Yoda, Anakin Skywalker, like Palpatine, Darth Vader, like Luke Skywalker? Are we serious? Like, I hope that we're on the same level. If I have taught you guys well in some form, I hope we're on the same level. But Logan and Leon are probably the hardest people to convince in this chat, and that's fine because they challenge me. Logan says, hot take: Gray Jedi are real. Using light and dark is a fan definition. Actual Gray Jedi are lightsabers that are lightsiders that follow their own path. Yes. Absolutely. That is the real definition of a Great Jedi. I literally did a video essay on it. Did you guys see it? Did you guys not see my Great Jedi video? Logan, did you see my video? I feel like you have. Yes. So that is the biggest problem with the Great Jedi stuff, is like, people are saying Great Jedi, and what they're using the term for Great Jedi doesn't even exist. You cannot use the dark side of the Force and think that there's going to be no repercussions. The dark side is a drug. And if you're not listening to George Lucas on how he defined the dark side, why are you even trying to convince yourselves that you can use the dark side? It is a drug, bro. George Lucas himself says this. The real Gray Jedi is a character like Qui-Gon Jinn, who was originally defined and labeled as a Gray Jedi because he outright disobeyed the order several times. This is in the 1998 official used to be official. They're in the 1998 comics for Star Wars, official Star Wars and Legends continuity during the was it the Hyper arc? I can't remember what it was. And that's where Tivoca calls Qui-Gon Jinn a gray Jedi. And then in the Knights of the Old Republic, the Knights of the Old Republic game guide, also the source book tells you that what a gray Jedi actually is. And then the Jedi Path book, the Jedi Path book also tells you what a gray Jedi is. God, I'm bringing all these things. And then the complete saga, the complete encyclopedia also lists the gray Jedi as a Jedi that openly disobeys the Council and follows the Force on their own. And the reason why that's so important is because George Lucas himself talks about the expanded universe and how important his encyclopedias are, and that how everything is there is supposed to list things that are consistent, so he makes sure that he stays in the rules of the expanded universe when he does stuff like video games and creates the Clone Wars. So that being right there is enough definition that the gray Jedi exists and is a real thing when it comes to that definition. That's what it is, baby. I agree with you, Logan, 100%. Lord Dagovere, do you think any Andor characters will ever get the spin-off show? No. I don't think so. Unless Andor makes $1 billion. Or $300 million, or $400 million, or $500 million. Like, not unless that. Like, they would need Baby Yoda level of merchandise. And that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. Andor is a great show. It is amazing. It's one of the best Star Wars shows. But it is not gripping the world like Baby Yoda did. It's not. You know, it's a very good show. It is successful. But it is not Mandalorian Season 1 Grogu type of effect. It's not. Skywalker Academy says, Nihilus is getting destroyed, though his drip is elite. Dude, he is so cool. And that's the problem. Like, you can't look at this guy and tell me he's not cool AF. Because all you gotta say is, why are so many people glazing this character? He's not even as strong as he is. It's because of this. Look at the way he is. He's just so cool. You know? That's the way it is. How powerful do you think Ezra Bridger will become? I'm not that strong. I don't think he's that. I don't think he's that strong. I think he's like Ahsoka, like below Ahsoka level in Star Wars Rebels, and I think that maybe he'll get Ahsoka level in Star Wars Rebels. I don't think that he's that powerful. He never seemed that powerful. He had a lot of problems through his training that I think now that he sees, but I don't think that Ezra Bridger will ever become like a Luke Skywalker or something like that, you know? I think Ahsoka is very close. I think Ahsoka is going to be quite strong with her ascension anyway, but that's because it's Dave Filoni's pride and joy, you know? That's what it is. Fallen Order Master, welcome to the stream, fam. Just saw you. Everybody welcome Fallen Master with a ready up, even though it's the end of the stream. Says, this may be a hot take. EU suit Vader is pretty terrible as a combatant. Interesting. Really? Really? I mean, like, this dude was, like, training till Starkiller clones collapsed for hours. Like, he was a beast. He was a monster. I mean, he still is. Yo, Jedi Connor. Yo, everybody welcome Jedi Connor with a ready up. By the way, guys, we're going to be doing the Starlight podcast tomorrow around like 7 or 8, so please join Jedi Connor. We're going to be talking about The Last Jedi, and I'm probably going to get Jedi Connor heated. No, probably not. I'm not that guy. You guys know I'm usually like, hey, man, if you believe this, believe it. I believe in you. I don't know, man. I don't think I can agree with that hot take. I don't think people understand like how strong Vader is in The Empire Strikes Back, in Return of the Jedi. Like, Vader is a beast. Like, even though he lost his potential, like, you have to understand, like, he's 80% of what the Emperor is. And even still, this guy is a dog. He is a beast. He is a monster. If you put him in The Last Jedi in the throne room, nobody is coming out of there alive. That's how strong Vader in Return of the Jedi is. He is so powerful. And, dude, and Kylo Ren is a dog. Snoke is a monster. I think Snoke would give Vader a run for his money, because Snoke is on that level that the Emperor is. But in talking of terms of the characters like the Praetorian Guards and Rey and Kylo, I do not like The Last Jedi. The Last Jedi I mentioned! But The Last Jedi novelization does such an amazing job of showing you how strong Kylo Ren is compared to Rey. The Praetorian Guards are fighting, and Rey is getting so close to Kylo, and she's having this fear of, like, she senses the power of every single Praetorian Guard, which is terrifying her because she senses that they're all in pain. And they're still moving and coming at her with the intent to kill. But she's looking around the room because she can't find where the source of this hatred, this darkness is. And she turns around and realizes that hatred and that power is coming from Kylo Ren. And that is like one of the greatest new canon excerpts that I've ever read. It's fantastic. And I'm telling you right now, Kylo Ren in The Rise of Skywalker absolutely dog walks Rey. Like, he's on a whole other level, right? But I guarantee you, man, I just don't think those characters could handle Vader, like, in his prime in Return of the Jedi. Like, I just don't see those characters doing well. Like, Kylo Ren is a beast, bro. And people don't understand how strong he is. And even he is getting smacked by Vader. And it goes to show you how strong Luke is and how terrifying the Emperor is, you know? So they're powerful characters, but they ain't like that. No, sir. David Torres says, lies! Lies! Deception! Vader very much cared about the chosen prophecy at Field as Ego. Yes, absolutely. He had lightning in the splinter of the mind's eye. Yes, he did. Which is why I want to get that book, man. That book is one of the hardest to track down. May the Force be with you, fam. If you know where that book is, let me know, my guy. Yeah, and then for the final hot take, Logan says, canceled unpublished EU content can be considered part of the EU if they don't contradict, as there will be no new content. Yes. Logan, the one that you were showing me before, the evolution, the origins of everything, like, I consider that canon. Like, that was going to be published. That's canon. It was right there. You know, the guy has all those emails to prove from Lucasfilm that it was going to be canon. It's canon, you know. Well, it was canon at one point. So I don't have the issue with, like, things like Waru and, you know, the stuff. My issue is, like, Eula Keldroma being the father of Revan. Like, that is a very, very big connection. You know, like how can that be? How? Yeah, anyway. I still love it. I still love the ideas. But there's definitely issues. But that's what headcanon is for, you know? Revan has Keldroma robes in the game. Yes. Yes. And that makes sense. And by the way, man, probably one of the most tragic deaths in all of Star Wars is Keldroma. I remember reading that comic, and I felt some type of way. Like, I was literally reading in bed, and I could not fall asleep. I had to get up and walk around for an hour because I was so mad. I'm that type of guy. After I read a comic and a book, you know, like, I don't know if you guys have seen it, or like someone's like reading, and then Keldroma was shot. Oh my God! What the? Like, I'm not even pretending. Like, that's actually what. What the fuck? That's how I am, dude. I can't, dude. You said I could post those covers in the Discord. Yeah. Do the Star Wars art. It should be like Star Wars art or something. Get in there, man. Logan says Kreia knew about his father and used that to manipulate Revan. That is a pretty awesome story. I'm not gonna lie, but I love Kreia, so yeah. All right, y'all. Thank you so much. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I would love to hear more about the hot takes and everything else. But tomorrow, please check in the Discord. Watch for the notifications for us going live with the Starlight Podcast tomorrow with Jedi Connor and Daddy Sheev. We'd love to see you guys there. Check out, please, Threads, Twitter, Instagram, and, of course, YouTube Shorts. Please, guys, comment on those YouTube Shorts and the polls when you see them, because Man, these people saying that my voice is AI is so whack and crazy, and I need my apprentices and acolytes to be there, baby. But thank you guys for being here, man. It's been so fun. And as always, y'all know, coming into the Dark Temple, visited by Mara Jade, Luke Skywalker, Kyle Katarn, so many other Force sensitives. I so good to see you guys. I appreciate you all. And I'll see you around next Tuesday, baby. It's my birthday. We're gonna have some fun. Deuces. By the abyss!